All right, what happens if Nathan does this to me? He removes the grip, crosses the arm, walks around the corner, hugs the hip, head inside, his leg behind mine, and I'm a little more savvy. Let's spin this way. I'm a little more savvy, and I feel this pressure against the leg. So rather than wait here and have him continue to block my sprawl, I just take the leg out and put it behind him. Right now, he doesn't have the throw that he initially established. You'll notice what he does have. He still has good head control. He still has my arm being dragged across his body. He still has the hip. And really, he still has the leg, except it's just in front and not behind. Okay? So let's see how we can take advantage of this switch that I did and how he can convert it into a throw. Let's go again. I hold his collar, or maybe I'm just approaching. He clamshells, and then he passes the arm, hugs the hip, and everything's fine. He's starting to look to bend me backwards. But as he does, I do this. Everything is still in place, so let me show you how to convert this now. Hold, break the grip, transfer, head inside, hug the hip, touch, and now he steps out. Right from here, I don't need to do much except take advantage of the leg position. Everything's the same. I'm pulling the arm across. Now I just dip my head to the ground, and I use this leg on his inner thigh, like this. In judo, this is called an Uchi mata. It's an inner thigh throw. And classically, I would hold the sleeve, and then maybe hold high on the collar, and then step inside like this, right? And then my inner thigh here would kick up and over to throw him, right? The leg motion would be without a partner like this. 1, 2, boom, to the ground. Something like an osoto gare, but where I turn away from him instead, okay? So now I don't have the position set to throw the classical uchimata. Even if it's not classical, sometimes the attacker may take a big step forward, and then I would have to really insert myself deeply. The hand would go to the collar. I'd take a little setup step with this foot, and then cross this foot behind so that I penetrate deeply, and then throw. Right? Something like that. This is modified. That's a very nice, beautiful judo throw, and the head goes over, the head goes down, and the feet go up, and it looks great. And if the guy's resisting, it's going to be a little hard to pull off, especially now we're dealing with an experienced grappler. He knew that as soon as he grabbed and I switched and I went here, he knew enough to step out. So I don't think I'm going to catch a full uchimata here, and I don't need to. What I can do is just keep the connection that I have, pull the arm a little bit, and put my head to the ground, and I'm almost going to shrug him so that he goes to the knees. This hand drags right here, forces down, as this leg just takes away his base there, right there, like this. All right? And now look, he gave me the back. So I can go immediately to an over-under grip, or I'd like to initially, maybe you start double underhooks, right? Just so you're aware of where he's going. Then when you're comfortable, you can switch to the over-under. All right, of course, what's important here is that my hips cover his hips. As he touches, I take the arm off and cross it, walk the hip and the head inside, start to look for this setup, and then he counters that. So now my counter to his counter, and it goes on and on and on, is a modified uchimata. I'm just going to turn a little bit, right? Turn a little bit, drag this leg up and push the arm to the ground, and I could also use a little pull on the hip here, boom, and follow him. Right here. Look how, if the camera goes around the other side, my knees are off the ground. I'm on my feet, right? And I want my hips locking his hips right away. I don't want to necessarily kneel next to him. If I need to do this to catch my balance in the beginning, that's fine. And I can make the double underhooks or make the over-under. But what I'd really like to do to keep pressure on him so he doesn't roll away is to have my hips on his hips, covering him with this type of pressure. All right? So this is really just a little tricky trick. I don't need to get his head to go all the way under and make a full forward roll. I'm just going to trip and take this off, follow myself like I'm supposed to around the corner, start to set this up. He steps free, and just get him to the ground here. Right? Maybe even not that much of a kick. Maybe I keep the leg planted, and he just trips. Yeah, I miss. That's it. He trips. And now I just cover him. Boom, with the hips. Over, under, or double under. When you go double under, look, I can hold the collar right like this. Not so I can be very tight, just so I have a little security. And be ready to move and catch your balance if you need to. Okay? Nate's gonna do it to me. So I hold his collar, he clamshells the hand, removes it, and passes it, and then hugs the hip. His head goes inside, and he starts to look for the rear sit, the rear jaw, and I step out. Now, he takes the leg and keeps it attached, and he's gonna put his head to the ground and pull my arm. Boom. And he just sits right to the back position. Right, he's off a little bit to one side more than the other. His hips are on my hips. He can go double under or here because he's far enough over me. He can switch to his preferred over-under grip. That's it, okay? Make sense, guys? All right, let's try.